Right, so I'm going to do a quick video on the curry that I make, and I make it in a big batch so that I can split it up into loads of these little cartons and eat it when I want. You can freeze it, or you can just stick it in the fridge and eat it through the week. It's totally up to you. So, ingredients and some techniques as well, because you're going to need some techniques to get the flavours that we get for these curries. So, we buy diced chicken, sometimes we buy frozen and defrost it, blah blah blah. Sorry about the lighting, it's terrible. I use about 800 grams, so a full pack of this and then probably a quarter a pack of that one. 800 grams of chicken, and I pre-cook the chicken, and I pre-cook it with a Kashmiri paste. I use the oil on the top, a bit of the oil on top and a bit of the paste, and then I just fry these up. And if you save the leftovers in the pan, the juices, that's part of your stock. I also put a small chicken stock cube in with it as well to give it a real chicken flavour for the stock, because you use the stock to make the curry. Then it's rapeseed oil to start. Always use rapeseed oil. And before, we use 2 tablespoons of rapeseed oil, sometimes 3, but I'm on a diet, so I've got to cut the oil out. And then when we start the pan up, we put a couple of chef spoons of oil. Sorry, it's chef spoons of oil, so 2 chef spoons. I'm not sure what that is in mil, but it's quite a lot. And then we gently fry some star anise, some cardamom pods that I broke up, some cinnamon, cassia bark, that's that there. This is the cassia bark. And then some Kashmiri chilies at the back there. So we fry all them up first, just to get some flavour into the oil. Then we take them out. I always take them out before I start cooking, because sometimes I'll lose them. And there's nothing worse than biting in to some of them. Anyway, on with the next bit. Normally I use a base gravy, so I'll make a gravy out of onions with some spices in. But I've got no base gravy, so I'm going like I did with the last curry, with no base gravy. But what I do, obviously I make the curry with 1 large onion, chopped, roughly chopped. But I also have a very finely chopped half an onion. And that obliterates itself and thickens the actual gravy, because I like a thick gravy with my curry. I like a thick curry, so I dice up half an onion, that goes in with it, and that thickens my gravy. So we do the oil, then we start frying the vegetables. We've got this many peppers, this many onions, and this many mushrooms. Get them all going, start to soften them. I add a teaspoonful of garlic paste, which I've not actually got out. I've got garlic there, whole garlic that's chopped, roughly chopped, and I've got ginger. So once I've softened these, I'll add all that ginger, because I love a lot of ginger in mine, and I'll add some garlic paste. Get that going for a bit longer, and then we go to the spices. So here we've got mixed powder. Now mixed powder is a concoction of, we do 2 tablespoons of cumin, 2 tablespoons of garam masala, 3 tablespoons of paprika, 3 tablespoons of ground coriander, 3 tablespoons of turmeric, and then 4 tablespoons of curry powder. Any curry powder will do, as long as it's just a curry powder. That makes your mixed powder, and we have 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of mixed powder. A teaspoon of ground panchparan. You don't have to have this. This is the first time I'm adding this in. I thought I'd add it in just to see if it gives any more of a kick. And then chili to taste. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of chili. So that's pretty much it. Once you've got all them going, you then add that. It'll sort of go a little bit sort of sticky, so you add a bit of boiling water. Got the kettle ready for some boiling water. Once you've loosened up all the spices with the veggies, the onions, the peppers and mushrooms, add a bit of water, loosen it, get it going again, and then we add some passata. I add quite a lot of passata because I haven't got a base gravy. this is nice and thick, so I had quite a lot of that. Then I had my garlic, and then I had my chicken, which is pre-cooked. Keep that going for a bit longer. Add a little bit more of that. Add a little bit more of hot water. Add some stock from the chicken. Keep that going. And then it's just some tomatoes. Throw them in towards the end. And then when you're nearly done, you need to add some methi leaves. I love this stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. I had quite a bit of that actually. Probably a teaspoon and a half. Really good pinch at least. And then top off with half a teaspoon of garam masala, and that's pretty much it, all done. So yeah, if you're at half a decent cook, you should be able to follow those instructions. Enjoy and let me know what you think.